Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Locock, an alumna of UCD Planning and an advanced skills skating coach with Dublin Roller Derby. Roller skating has seen somewhat of a revival this past year, and the goal of this Masterclass in Minutes Roller Skating Edition is to hopefully give you just enough basic information to get you out and rolling this summer. Hi, welcome to the Masterclass in Minutes Roller Skating Edition. A few minutes might not actually be enough to teach you how to fully skate or improve on skating skills, but what I do hope to do in the next few minutes is teach you a little bit about all of the elements around skating skills. So by the end of this video, you'll have a good knowledge of the types of equipment out there, common problems that beginner skaters have with their equipment or with skating, and maybe if there's a few minutes left over, just teach you how to stand up with confidence and stride, get you striding a little bit so that you will have the confidence to get yourself rolling around this summer. I would always recommend to anyone starting out skating to wear protective equipment. You're as cool as you feel, as I always say. And a small stone can really throw you off your quad skates, so it's better to be safe than sorry. In addition, when you feel safe and comfortable on your skates, you actually get the confidence to push yourself and try new things. With protective equipment, so your knee pads, your elbow pads, and your wrist guards, the most important thing is fit. There's a style out there to suit everyone, but if it's too tight, you're going to restrict your range of motion, possibly your circulation. If it's too loose, it might actually slip off before you make impact with the ground. The real trade-off here is the profile of your protective equipment versus the protection you will get from it. A really slim, minimal coverage pad like this wrist guard is going to give you lots of range of motion, but obviously the coverage is minimal, and you will generally feel more of an impact when you hit the ground versus a bulkier pad. What you really want to think about is what's going to give you the most confidence to go out and try new things. The only exception to this is obviously your helmet. Did it work? Go with a certified helmet. It might cost a bit more, but we're all very intelligent people and we probably want to keep it that way. Another important aspect is the fit of the helmet. So it shouldn't be too tight, but it shouldn't be loose enough that you can easily move it around on your head. If you're having problems with the size of your helmet, you might not need a new one. You might just need to change the inserts. So if it's too loose, get a thicker insert for the inside of your helmet. If it's too tight, get a smaller one. Now that you have a certified helmet that fits, another common problem I spot is how the helmet's actually being worn. Quick tip for this is the peak of your helmet shouldn't be more than 2 fingers above your eyebrows. Shouldn't be sitting way back here, also shouldn't come too far forward. It should just sit nicely and comfortably on the top of your head. In order to keep your helmet on, you need to actually attach it to your head. So I do see a lot of people rocking a helmet without actually clasping the straps. This to me doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but there you go. Still moves pretty easily around. In order to tighten it up, you need to actually adjust the side straps so that the triangle just frames your ears. Again, 2-finger rule. You really shouldn't be able to get more than 2 fingers between your chin and the strap. There you go. Perfect. There are roller skates to fit every style and budget, from 40 to 400 euro and beyond, depending on how crazy you want to go. As with anything, the price will generally reflect the quality. However, if you're just starting out, quality doesn't necessarily translate into performance. So what you really want to look for is fit and comfort. The key word for comfort is break-in time. The break time and durability of the skate will depend 100% on the material that your skate is made from. Really recommend a really padded boot for beginners, like these freestyle skates or say any kind of entry-level roller derby boot. Will generally be on the lower end of the budget and will come with loads of padding, which makes it super comfortable, requiring almost no break-in time. A leather boot like this will give you more durability. You'll get a lot more wear out of the boot. However, they are at the higher end of the budget usually. They also have a shorter break-in time. This is because you'll get a lot of stretch out of the boot. The only issue is that stretch continues over the life of the skate, so they will loosen over time. You can just wear some thicker socks. Finally, there's the carbon fiber boot. Really only meant for high performance competitive sports, tend to be again at the higher end of the budget. They're a really hard boot. They mold to your feet, so their reaction time is really quick. I really can't tell you when the break-in time is because I've only had these for 2 years. Very quickly, I'm just going to go through some common issues that people have when skating and some quick solutions to fix those issues so you don't have to throw away those skates that you've invested so much of your time in. For rubbing on the ankles and heels, you can use an ankle booty like this one. They come in different thicknesses depending on your need. Wear this on your foot and it stops the rubbing on the edges of the boot. Arches is generally caused by poor insoles. So the insoles that come with your skates are generally there just to stop you from hitting the pieces of metal that are attaching your plate to the boot. I would recommend getting rid of those insoles and putting in some purpose-built skate insoles. For pressure points along the foot, particularly in the toe region, the solution probably lies in the way that you're tying your boots. People aren't really used to wearing shoes or boots where the laces come all the way down to the toe, and obviously everybody's feet are different. So if you're experiencing one point of pressure, what you can do is actually just miss out that eyelet. So if you're experiencing pressure here, just don't tie your skates there. If you're finding a really big difference between the tightness you experience at the bottom of your feet versus the top of your feet, you can actually just get 2 sets of laces. You can tie one toe tight or loose, ankle tight or loose. The way you tie your laces can also help your feet stay in place. If you feel like your heels are coming out all the time, or if you feel a certain type of slip, look online, find a way to tie your skates. There are so many different ways. If you're having issues with turning, your trucks just might be a little too tight. So if you see the little nut there, you can loosen that off. It'll make the axles move a little bit more freely. It's really hard to turn if your axles are frozen in place. As you're turning, the wheels are coming off of the surface, but if you loosen them up a bit, you'll be able to use more of your body weight to turn your skate. Wheels are important insofar as they are 100% responsible for your ability to roll on whatever surface it is you decide to start skating on. Now, chances are the wheels that your skates came with, if they did come with wheels, are perfect enough to get you going. However, once you start branching out and trying new things, your speed, stability, and reaction times can be supported by the size and the durometer, that is the hardness, of the wheel that you choose. Here are some tips on choosing the right wheels. On a sidewalk, bike path, or road surface, I would go with a standard outdoor wheel with no hub. These wheels are usually a durometer of about 85 or less, and because they have no hub, they're very soft, which means they absorb a lot of the vibrations that you might feel going over a rough surface. If you're lucky enough to be skating on a wood or polished concrete surface, I would then opt for a hybrid or indoor skate wheel. I would definitely go for a hybrid or indoor wheel. These are 85 or higher in durometer usually, and they have either a plastic or a metal hub. Go for the plastic hub. They're a little less durable, but they're cheaper, and chances are the wheel is going to wear out before the hub does anyway. The other benefit to a plastic hub is that it's much easier to remove the bearing if at any stage you ever need to do that. Here are a couple final tips on wheels to help you with the movements that you're trying to achieve on your skates. To go faster, a wider and lower durometer wheel will help you increase grip on the surface and give you that speed you're looking for. If you're more into agility and tricks, a higher durometer wheel with a narrower surface will improve your reaction time and allow you to stop and turn more quickly. On the subject of bearings, actually, if you're a newer skater, I wouldn't even really think about it. The difference in performance between the different kinds of bearings is almost not negligible. Just make sure that if you are buying bearings, that they're the right size for the axle that you're putting them on. The benefit of buying bearings with wheels is, one, you don't have to think about it, and two, they usually come with a spacer. The spacer is just a piece of metal that fits between the two bearings inside of your wheel. Keeps your bearings in line so that there's no movement or wobble on the axle. You can tighten the nut on your axle as much as you want without damaging the bearing or sacrificing roll. Without a spacer, if you tighten the nut all the way, the bearings will compress and the wheel won't turn freely. You also might damage the bearings in the long run. To stop this, you'll have to release the nut a little bit so that the wheel can move freely. This, however, opens the door to certain kinds of tragedies. If this is your first time putting on your skates and you're hesitant about getting up on them, try doing it in a comfortable space, garden, or even in your kitchen, and have a support nearby. Let's just show you a quick few tips on how to get up.